Hi guys, back again to do the energy update for Sagittarius for the month of March. Those of you who are new are very warm welcome to Yildiz readings. I do have another channel, but I'm going to be changing it. I'm going to try and do the update for the twin flames this month. But I will be giving the live updates for the astrology and also in general twin flame energy update after I've completed these, and then I'll see how the scheduling's going. But they are going to be all back on this channel again. Now, wait for people to connect. And again, if you are wanting a booking, you can go to the link directly below. Once I've completed them, I'll do all the editing. But the information should be directly below. Those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame reader. I'm a twin flame myself. And if you are wanting a booking, as I said, you can go to the link directly below. Okay, you have an interesting month ahead. Yildiz, Sagittarius. Now, there has been a download of a song that came to me, and I do feel there could be a situation with a child. And this could be for just a group of you. It could be your inner child, especially with the nodes being in Cancer. But there is, the song that came through is Sweet Child of Mine. And also I saw Destiny's Child say my name. And I'm feeling there's an energy of a child, either a childhood wound or, you know, what you're going to do. It might be that you're expecting a child and you're looking at how life's going to look moving forward. Some of you may be even thinking about your childhood. And again, you know, releasing core wounds and moving forward. I'm also seeing there could be a maturity issue with people around you, but you're having to man up, woman up when it comes to situations that you're dealing with. You're trying to get the best out of your life, out of the situation, you know, for your tribe, for your future. And it can be also being pulled in too many directions, trying to be too many things to too many different people. And you're trying to balance your energy of what you need to achieve. Be very careful with bills, fines, and driving this month, guys, because what came through was potentially look at all your statements, look at all your cards. Be cautious for fines during this month. You know, getting your taxes in order, etc., because it's a time frame of a karmic end, but it's also what's working and what's not. You've also got some plans about what you want to do to achieve your future moving forward. This child, though, I do see you guys again, and I'm already experiencing neck aches and headaches, and it might be heat related. Hi, Sarah. It may be anxiety. It can be you're very headstrong and you've got a lot of people on your back to achieve certain tasks. But I'm feeling like it's going to be, again, a super busy month. You're going to want to go into hermit mode, but there's going to be so much going on, you literally won't have time. Now, when it comes to your employment, I'm saying that you guys are going to be up in your head about something. You may be manifesting something in. You might want to make a transition or a change, or you might actually be doing 2 jobs at once. Now, it doesn't have to be on the cash component of paid work. It could be something at a 3D level you're working on. You're trying to manifest something in, but you're also trying to use logic to deal with that. The problem is, the shadow aspect, you're going to have more ability to do that at the moment, but once you move into that Mercury phase, it's going to cause a lot of conflict with you seeing things correctly. So try not to get triggered with your ego, because definitely the third eye can be an aspect of the ego. I'm also seeing on the financial front, you're not having enough to have the luxuries in life, and you want more for yourself than just that. You want to live a different style. Some of you who have been in a career and you felt that that's all you could have, you're going to be breaking that glass ceiling, and it's almost because you have to. It's a necessity and it's part of your destiny. And especially with Saturn being in your transit, a lot of old frequencies are coming back, and you're really going to go through a mass awakening this year. So, and again, it does depend on, you know, where you are in your spiritual growth. But it can feel like a super strict month for you, with you needing to expand, you know, with the Jupiter frequency coming through for you. It does bode well, providing you're willing to look at those core wounds with the nodes and Cancer and Capricorn, as well as looking at where you could have been responsible previously before, where and how you want life to be moving forward in the family domain and a romantic domain. And with Chiron and Aries, it's almost looking at like, okay, I need to man up, woman up, I need to address these details, because moving through the rest of the year is going to be where the growth is. Potentially, it might feel like a slight delay moving through March, but you're also going to find points and things where you can actually deal with that after the fact, and there will be forward movement from that point. It's about being really super responsible and cautious with your cash in March. But, you know, checking the books, making sure that you've paid the bills ahead of time, dealt with things, and, you know, if they aren't, what the plan is going to be to actually address those areas. In your family, there can be great passion and, you know, great love. And again, this could be higher frequency, lower frequency. So it can be where you are butting heads and you're asserting your individuality. Or it could be to the point where everything is flowing quite well and everyone's in their hearts and understands each other. Just don't live in each other's pocket. Get to a point where you have the healthy balance, especially with, you know, joint ventures and situations to that degree, because that can change with Mercury retrograde. But moving in, it's feeling as though things will flow, providing you've got those healthy boundaries and you're moderating things and dealing with your side of the fence. There is an energy of creativity coming through with you guys as well, but you need to also adhere to the responsibilities. Because the conflict, I didn't even look, the conflict that you're going to get is if you don't adhere to your responsibilities, because it's going to catch up on you. And that's because with Mercury retrograde, I keep mentioning it, it takes a lot more energy to tackle tasks. So deal with the tasks, like I've mentioned in the other videos. If there's something you need to do and it's going to take a few minutes, deal with it right away. Don't leave it till later, because there may not be a later. There can be other things coming at you from left field that you'll have to deal with, and it's going to then topple on top of you, and it won't be till after April you'll actually get on top of that. Retrograde, we're already in the shadow aspect of it now for Mercury. There are other transits going on that I will talk about separately. The moon frequency will be different. For those of us who are on the fence, we're not happy doing a particular thing, be it a relationship, a job, because we want to be unique and liberated. The 1st of March can come through with that frequency. That can be in relationships, you know, contracts, the road, the path we choose. If we're feeling very suppressed, we can be quite agitated. There's a lot of positive things as well where we can be more creative. We can be more to the point where we have compassion and understanding. But at the lower frequency, if people are really pushing us, triggering us, and we haven't dealt with those core wounds, we can actually become a little bit aggressive and frustrated. Mercury can rule the cars, technology, crosswise and communication, you know, the inability to move tasks forward at a rational level. So it feels like you're having sort of like ascension flu. You feel semi-tired, but you've got a lot in front of you to deal with. So that aspect is already happening, but you're going to have more opportunity at the moment to deal with tasks than when we're in it from the beginning of the month moving forward. Now, what you're not seeing is communication is the key, but there will be messages lost in translation. And again, Mercury retrograde. So look at it as a weather forecast. Try not to take things personal. Understand that it's temporary and it is going to shift. Overall, you still have the ability to manifest. Don't use the planets as an excuse not to deal with tasks. Just be mindful of their own frequency and what it means, which means, okay, issues with technology. If you have to buy something, keep the receipt. Read your emails. You know, check the oil before you're getting in the car. Anything that comes up, it can be dealt with after, but if you can deal with it now and you're aware of it, deal with that process now. Your communication, be careful the way you're communicating. Wires can get crossed. You'll be at the supermarket and they'll be putting something through the cashier. Keep your receipt, you know, because sometimes that transaction can be doubled up. But just keep patient during the process. That's all you're needing to do. Use music therapy and chakra clearing to help ground yourself during this month. And it can be that you're waiting to hear on a job offer, waiting to hear some information that has been delayed. I do feel it's going to come through, and I feel this is by the 20th. So if you've been networking, applying for jobs, or waiting for information to come to you, I feel it's potentially around mid-month that this will come through to you. I'm not feeling this to be a bad thing. I feel it to be a super positive thing. So there's potential of more income coming in, but it's a way you're going to have to go about it. You need to be more creative with the way you are generating that or looking at that perspective. It's going to assist with, you know, your foundation in your life and what you're wanting to manifest in. So again, this doesn't have to be connected to family, but it can be. But it's also about what you feel is right for you in your base chakra and your foundation, and what's going to help anchor you in to further motivate your plans. You might be nervous in tackling this task. And again, I am seeing therapy in a sense of the chakra alignment and understanding where the pain body experience is coming from will help you actually tackle that fear-based frequency. Okay, in love, again, money on the brain. I do feel you guys are actually looking at yourself. Don't look at yourself as a bank, okay? You might have an expectation towards yourself or towards another, or within this romantic connection you're inquiring about. That something needs to be balanced. This can be from a manifestation point of view, your side of the fence, their side of the fence, but finances are something at the moment that are a bit of a bugbear and you're focusing on. Doesn't mean you don't have a lot. It means you can be spreading it a little bit too thin or having a major plan in mind as to where to invest in this finance. And it can be even changing jobs and going through a transition before everything can balance. There's also self-worth coming through and what's the give and take within the connection or with this love interest. This can be coming up in your mind. Especially if you're single and it's somebody from the past you're inquiring about. It's like this needs to be balanced. Some of you, again, due to your schedule, you won't see each other. And again, I'm feeling you won't be seeing eye to eye with particular things, but it's just because of miscommunication and people getting to a point this month where we're expressing our individuality, but understanding that oil and water can just be oil and water, and that's okay, and it still can fit. It's just accepting the differences. I'm still feeling as though you're not going to see something coming. Something has come at left field. And it may be that's going to change the way, and I'm feeling like a possessive energy, and this can be on your side or another person's side or somebody actually taking a great deal of your time, and you're trying to create that balance. And these are all base chakra cards. So it's all about the home environment for you guys this month and what's going to really anchor in your life. Is it better not to communicate with the past lover this month, or just be very mindful when you do? You can look, if you're inclined to communicate, don't get triggered and don't have an expectation. I mean, to me, you can communicate with the person at any time, but if you have an expectation, that's when you get triggered. So if you're communicating, it would need to be a statement, but if it's an expectation, it can be a real crappy time, but you're more inclined to get contact during this time, because if we are in a left or right scenario, moving into the very beginning of the month, that comes up. So if they have unresolved feelings, you may find they'll reach out and actually communicate with you. But it's really their passion and their fire and their home domain is something that's really going to be heavily focused on at the moment. What makes them feel home, whether they need to move home, whether they're in the right connection and want to move away from it. You know, all of these subject matters are coming up this month for us to assess, but it's also about our finances and how we can move forward to have that home stability. Does that make sense? That's okay, Sarah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I really feel some of you have been a bit worried about leaving a position. And some of you really have stayed due to responsibilities, but some of you are even getting to a point you have to. You're expanding, you're growing, and it has to happen. Okay, so the moon energy for you guys in this transit, and again, I was seeing even last year, January, February, March being highly intuitive. But we've got to be careful that we don't fall into the ego. As long as you're meditating upon it and you're knowing, giving it to universe and allowing something to transform, it's going to help you. There is a transition of the moon energy that's going to assist. Again, it's a super moon. We're then heading into eclipse season again. So it is coming yet again. So it's like we're really being bombarded with an upgrade at the moment where we've got to spiritually move forward. Even if we didn't want to, we're having to. Now, they can be handling two ways of looking at life. And there's two different ways this can turn out. They do feel that a lot of people are manipulating them at the moment. And that frequency with the Pisces frequency, it can be a direct Pisces that's doing this. Or it could be, in general, just an energy of too many hands in the pie, too many expectations, and a triggered Sagittarius. So just be understanding towards it that at the moment what's going on is they're working on their foundation to be ready to move forward. They don't want to do this unless things are balanced. I'm also feeling a potential road they were moving down. And again, this can be connected to employment as well, or a direct relationship where they're on the fence, they're not committed to it. That's not for everyone because we're all on our own path. Yeah, definitely I'm seeing the work front and trying to get out of a contract and moving into a new one and hoping that financially they can recover. But they know that something's got to change there. They know that in order for them to move forward in their life, something needs to change. They've got large goals, large goals. But with what they want to do, there's going to be a process. And again, as I've mentioned, connected to the total eclipse, ending out those cycles and the work we then need to do to move forward can become overwhelming, and it can be a little bit arduous moving into the month, but it is going to balance out by mid-month. Any questions? Hi, Kelly. But I'm really feeling as at the moment the two areas that are coming up very heavily. Be careful for fines. There's potential for romance, but I think it's all fine detail at the moment. I also feel for those of you who are on the fence, there literally could be a 360 where they walk away, but it's going to be more from stress than actually making a complete decision. Yeah, at the moment there is a lot going on in Sagittarius's life. They're trying to create balance, and if they are in a connection and they're completely happy, they're trying to find a way to balance everything out. But they're not getting enough rest, and it's like caution. You don't want to get a Sagittarian angry. I'm just saying. My brother's a Sagittarius. You don't want to get a Sagittarius angry. It's not pretty. They're very fair and understanding, but, they've got tunnel vision at the moment where they're trying to achieve something. I'll say that much. Any questions? Yeah, it has felt like that for a few weeks, Kelly. And I think it's because we're all moving into that frequency of, I wouldn't say singular, of looking at ourselves and having to merge timelines and bring things together. So it feels complicated at times dealing with that. That's okay. Yeah, it will plateau out. It's just about dealing with the 3D at the moment. 3D is pretty heavy. So dealing with that, it's actually going to help. Here's hoping. Yeah. Let's hope. Could be in the second week of March. Again, energies are relevant at that time. Things can shift. March potentially is the catalyst to change. It really is the energy where we do energetically start shifting forward. So if we're on the correct path, we continue on it. We see what's working, we see what's not working. If it's not and we've delayed it and the universe has to directly intervene, hi Giggle, then what does happen is you do a 360 and you start moving down the correct path. You're always guided back onto the correct path. But again, it can be something happening on your side of the fence that you spiritually can be blocking it. And it can be because you're tuning into it too much. And if you are, they receive that energy and they push the pause button. You did Giggle. I'm telling you, Mercury retrograde. I mean, I was live last night and there was 3 people and it was like, I'll go to bed and I'll do it tomorrow. Any other questions for Sagittarius? We have Cancer, Scorpio, and Gemini today. That's okay. Yeah, just try and, how do I put it? Check in with yourself. Look at whether you've got any emotional blockages about it and fearing, or, you know, have you done enough on your side of the fence? Are you ready? Does it look correct? And, you know, when we tune into them, they sense it. And it's like if they're triggered as well and they're picking up on your vibration, it does push the pause button. If you detach from it and tune out of it and focus on yours, you start getting the downloads again. It's because they're energetically wanting to take you back to a codependent pattern. And you just breathe in and let it out and say, you can deal with that side of the fence. So, you know, duality, it's about being tuned in, but being tuned into you as well and detaching. And it can happen in 24 hours. So just check in with yourself and see what's going on. Yeah, my life is feeling retrograde. I'm plowing through and I swore I had 3 videos and now I've got 4. But I'm getting there and I've still got to do the twin flame yet. And my twin said to me, what, you got another 12? I said, yeah, I've got another 12. We'll get there. Most welcome, Sarah. Okay, I'm going to go. I will be back in a few moments and we will do Cancer. Back in a moment. Yeah, I must be wicked, eh?